Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brooke, and welcome to my small seminar on giving a good toast. If you are here today, it's likely because you are hoping to learn how to give a good toast. And as someone who has sat through plenty of toasts in my life and has done quite an extensive amount of research on this topic, you have come to the right place to learn. I have seen plenty of toasts in my life, some that have left people snoozing, some that have left people crying or laughing, and you name it, I've seen it. And not only that, I have seen them happen, I've also been the one who's given my fair share of toasts in life, some that have failed and gone wrong, and then some that have gone really, really well. And so I've learned from a lot of different places in my life about toasts, and there are just so many things that we can go over today about um, just how to make a great toast. But today I'm going to give you 3 simple steps on giving a good toast, just to really hone in on some small but really significant parts that we can work on today. So, how to give a good toast. First, you want to consider the setting. This can include a plethora of things, but really it's for example, is it a wedding? Is it a funeral, a baby shower, or like a casual get together with friends? This can greatly affect how your toast, the tone of your toast and how long it will be. So knowing this, yeah, will change your tone, such as a tone that's excited or enthusiastic for the next chapter, such as a wedding, or really sensitive and somber and in remembrance for a funeral. Or there's some funerals that are more of like a memorial that's remembering someone's life, so it could have more nostalgic joy kind of tone to it. So these are just all things that you need to consider. Understanding the setting and the tone of where you are is really vital to a good toast, because if you don't really consider this, it can come off as really distasteful and insensitive, just depending on what kind of setting that you're in. So, yes, this is a very important part to consider. After you consider the setting of your toast, you next need to consider and understand the audience that you will be presenting this toast to. So, this can, but is not limited to, things such as age and demographics. It really, really does matter when you think about it. Of course, when you know the setting, you know why people are attending this event, right? So, they're either there to celebrate or to mourn or to just to gather and have fun. And this will really greatly affect your toast. Understanding your audience, including such as the age, um, can help you consider humor. A lot of toasts are, small, capturing humorous moments. And so if you're, say, at a wedding or a more casual thing where you're using humor as a part of your toast, you want to consider the age. People's humor, it really differs on age. And so for me, I'm 21. If I go to a wedding that I'm giving a toast at and the average age is, say, 30 or 40, not that there's anything wrong with that. You just have to consider that a joke that might be funny to me as a 21-year-old might not be, especially if it has to do with like popular culture today, might not be as funny as someone, as funny to someone who is 40 years old. So you just kind of have to consider more maybe timeless humor, and just be considerate of age. It really does matter. It can really affect the substance of your toast of, yeah, who are you talking to? It's really, really important. Um, yeah, and this leads me to my last kind of section of this, which is considering your timing. So after we consider the setting and the audience, considering the timing of your toast does not obviously stand alone. It really does rely on the setting and audience. But um, yeah, it really does. It's important because you can kind of bore your audience if it's too long, or especially if you haven't accurately considered your audience or your setting, then it might be an inappropriate amount of time to talk. So all these things kind of rely on each other, and don't really stand alone. But you just need to consider, yeah, you need to consider this timing aspect. Um, Also, it does kind of rely on the role that you play in, let's say, like a wedding, if you're the maid of honor or the father of the bride or even the groom. Um, all these things have separate etiquettes that it would take a while to go over. But it's important to keep it, I would say, as a general rule, shorter rather than longer because you'd want people to stay interested, stay involved. And if you go over, say, 5 minutes, it's really, if it's not specifically supposed to be a very long toast, then you start to have people that are getting kind of antsy, need to go to the bathroom, just different things kind of add up where unfortunately you have to keep it a little bit shorter to keep people interested. Yeah, so if anything, you should definitely err on the side of shorter rather than longer. Yeah, these are the three things that you really should consider while doing a great toast. First, obviously, the setting. Um, Understanding this helps you gauge your tone and the length of your toast, as well as audience. Considering your audience helps you understand, yeah, who will be attending this will help you kind of just gauge your humor and your tone and, you know, yeah, what you're saying to these people. It's really a very integral piece. And lastly, the timing, considering your timing will keep you um, keeping people interested and allowing you to stay sincere yet concise and to the point. And at the end of this, I am just so glad that you guys all came. And if you have any questions, please do not feel afraid to ask me anything. And yeah, so cheers to learning how to give a great toast.